Hey y'all, welcome back to Seeing Blind. If you're new here, my name is Cindy. I would love for you to snag all those good buttons down below for more content on life and family with a disability and an emphasis on blindness. Today, I wanted to go back to the beginning of not just my journey of acceptance with living life disabled, but of my YouTube channel, because I posted a video in the beginning called Secrets of Acceptance, and you guys have really sent me some wonderful feedback, and I feel like it's truly helped a lot of people. So I'm like, okay, let's expand on this a little bit, because that's the purpose of my channel, is to help as many as I can and serve my community. So we're going to cover feeling overwhelmed, some of the causes, some of the triggers, and how these feelings of being overwhelmed can impact our life in other areas and ways. I also want to follow up with the tips and things that I have learned to do to help myself cope and manage and pull through those times when I'm so overwhelmed, I'm ready to throw in the white towel. Remember, guys, I'm not a health professional by any means. I am just a disabled person who's been here for a long time, and I get it, I've done it, and I am here to just help you with any questions you may have. However, if you are seriously struggling, please, I encourage you to reach out to any health professional in your local area to get some assistance. Here we go, y'all. Now, let's jump in. Whether you are new to life with a disability, chronic illness, condition, just any life-altering event, or like me, you've had it for 30 plus years, it doesn't matter, we all experience being overwhelmed. For me, in the beginning, especially those first 5 years, that can be the hardest as you're adapting, adjusting, and learning how to process the changes in life, is just all the fears, the anxieties, all the questions that we have from, what's going to happen to me, or treatments, or doctors, or resources, all the questions, all the things that we have that we don't get answers to. And especially when we have to wait for those answers and we're just left in this pit of anxiety of waiting, we can get so overwhelmed by so many different things especially in those initial beginning years. I wish there was a magic answer to getting through these, but there's not. Unfortunately, there aren't any shortcuts, but I am going to share some tips in just a moment, so stay with me to the end, and hopefully I'll share something that will help you navigate through some of these difficult times. One of the things that I remember really struggling with is identity crisis. Who am I with this disability? It seemed sometimes like the culture and society was designed against me. I wanted to function and go places and do things and all this stuff, but I was stuck in my home. I couldn't get out. I couldn't figure out how to meet people and get my groceries at times and all this stuff. And it just felt so overwhelming trying to figure all of this out. And I couldn't figure out, okay, well, who am I? What am I going to do? What am I going to do for work as a professional? How am I going to function? And how are people going to see me? As am I sighted or am I blind? Just the whole process of acceptance, you go through these different parts that really challenge your identity, that really challenge the feelings you have regarding the label of disability or chronic illness, the judgments, the pressures that you get externally versus internally. All of these can be so overwhelming, and they can trigger and grow into even more difficult feelings, such as resentment. This is where I think if we don't address when we feel overwhelmed, we don't become self-aware and try to resolve what is making us feel overwhelmed, or just process those feelings, truly take a step back and really analyze and address those feelings, that's when you do progress into resentment, into anger, into unhealthy behaviors, whether it's seeking alcohol or other drugs and things to self-soothe. It's just all of these things that, because we're overwhelmed, we're looking for a fix-it. We're looking for just make it go away. We want a break. from life, and we want control over our life again. And when we feel like we don't have control, that's when I feel like it ends up developing into more difficult feelings and behaviors that cause more trouble down the road. On that note, let's move forward. I want to talk about some of the tips and advice that I have real quick that I've learned on my journey so far that really helped me, and hopefully they'll help you too. But please take what you need and can use and discard the rest, all right? So I've already mentioned one thing already, sort of, and that is self-awareness. I think that's really step number one, guys. When you're self-aware, that's when you can discover some of the triggers, some of the causes, if there's anything you can do to resolve it or prevent it. And you can also prioritize. When you've got so many things on your plate, that's when you can say, okay, I need to just take these few things, or I need to take it down and just really break it down to one step at a time, conquering one thing at a time, and you're not letting everything bombard you all at once. I think it all starts with self-awareness. Number two, and this, guys, took me the longest to really gain insight on, and it's also kind of the hardest thing to do, but it's so worth it, and it's so beneficial in just being a happier person. But real quick, hit the notification bell and the subscribe, guys. I really appreciate it. It helps me out on YouTube, and I appreciate your support. So my gold nugget tip here is, you and I are every bit deserving of patience, compassion, and forgiveness from ourselves as much as everyone else. We ask a lot of those three things from other people in our lives, family, friends, colleagues, what have you, but oftentimes we're the last person to give it to ourselves. When you are overwhelmed, when you're dealing and managing with a chronic illness, a disability, a difficult condition, whatever it is in life, we ourselves are the last ones that sometimes we're just so hard on ourselves. We're so overly critical. We're so just, we can't give ourselves a break. We can't forgive ourselves. I struggled with forgiveness when there were things I used to be able to do in a minute, but now it takes me 10 minutes or an hour. And I get bitter, I get angry again, I get resentful. And so I have to just let it go. It is my new life, and I need to find peace with it and forgive myself for it, and compassion and have patience for myself. Those three things together really help me get through those moments. And patience with yourself is one of those things that's so hard, especially when you're waiting for questions, when you're trying to figure things out, when you are trying to learn, and there's a sharp learning curve to life with a disability, guys. But that's when you need to exercise patience, and it's so hard to do when you've built up all this angst inside and you just want to know what's going to happen to me. How am I going to gain my life back? It is so hard to have patience, and it's so hard to be compassionate and forgive yourself of the times that you make mistakes, the decisions, the bad decisions you've made in the past that may have contributed to your situation or not. It doesn't matter either way. You got to focus on the present moment now, and try to be as positive as you can and moving forward. That is what has really assisted me the most. I'm going to end on communication, guys, because don't all things end with communication in the end, right? I mean, it seems like communication applies to everything in life, but here as well, you want to let people know. You got to clue them in with what's going on when you're feeling overwhelmed. So reach out to your friends, your family, your support groups on social media. If you feel like you don't have anyone you feel comfortable speaking with, you are welcome to send me a message, guys. I am on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. You can find those links in my About page on my channel. Send me a message. I will help you the best I can from afar and do whatever I can to get you resources if that is what you need. But I am here for you if you need me. But otherwise, guys, reach out to those in your life and clue them in. Let them assist you when you need assistance, or just help verbally process what's going on, because sometimes just talking about it can really give you some relief. So my kids are getting ready to go crazy, so I better jump off here. Make sure you check the videos on the left and right. They're going to give you more content that hopefully you will benefit from as well. Be sure to check out the description box as well for other videos like Secrets of Acceptance. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings to you and yours.